Hi, my name is Bill D'Arcy.
And I'm Tony Gianmarco.
We taught a World in Transition class at Upper High School 11th grade class.
And that class is basically a modern world history class. So it starts around the year 1450 and it ends around the Second World War.
I would say unique.
And I would say productive.
Well, I think that we brought two different teaching styles and two different levels of experience, where Tony was a more experienced teacher than I was, and I think that we were able to come together and use each other's experience to the students' advantage.
And in terms of productive, I think our co-teaching relationship was productive in a number of ways. I think the students benefited a lot from our collaboration. As Bill mentioned, we kind of have different experiences and we brought some different skills to the table. And also just together, I think we learned from each other, and I think that proved to be productive that particular year and some years to follow as well.
Sure, and it was unique in this situation. It was the first time that we ever had a co-teaching class in 11th grade.
Co-taught by two general ed teachers. That was unique for Upper Dublin, at least. So one example comes to mind. Bill and I were just reflecting upon this earlier. We were teaching a lesson on the Industrial Revolution and specifically how the Industrial Revolution affected society. And I brought to the lesson a primary source that I had used in an AP European history class. And definitely a difficult read. And so Bill and I sat down and we put our heads together to figure out a way that we could present this to the students that would make it more accessible to them. And ultimately, we decided to create a lesson in which students in small groups read the primary source together and then had to link excerpts from the primary source with images from the Industrial Revolution, photographs, and they had to explain why the excerpt from the primary source or how it was reflected in the image. They had to give the image a title, creative title, and it really, it was a lesson that required them to do some legitimate analysis of a primary source that was definitely challenging. It drew upon their prior knowledge, and I think ultimately the kids really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the kids really did enjoy it. It gave them a chance to be able to look at research on their own, and each group had a picture, and then when we came together, we kind of described the picture, and then we could have the rest of the class even comment on the picture as well. I think that the students can. It's up to the teacher to assist them through the steps as you're going through. Maybe if it's a difficult read, explain parts of the reading. And I think that everybody has the ability to be able to get through it, but it's up to the teacher to be able to guide them.
Yeah, and I think, our title is teacher. We're supposed to teach them how to do things. And sometimes analyzing a primary source doesn't come natural to students, or they've never been asked to do it before. So you have to provide them with strategies and methods to do it. And we even talked about it together when we were planning these lessons. I would say stuff like, elementary school kids can analyze primary sources. You just have to pick the right primary source and provide them with the tools. So it can be done by any student at any age level. You just have to, figure out a way to get it across to them.
And we modeled it for them too. Like we took one of the images and we took it through and we showed them how they could find like pieces in the text that may work to go with that. So I think by modeling that picture for the students, and that made them more successful, and it was an assignment that they would all enjoy.
Yeah. I think we tried them all at one point or another, and to varying degrees of success. I think they all, at one point or another, proved to be successful. But for me personally, when I think about it, We did a number of lessons that involved the station model, station teaching. And I thought that was effective because it kept the students engaged. We got a lot done. It was sort of a fast-paced lesson, and just as an example, we might have a lesson in which a small group is working on vocabulary, maybe with one of us, and while another group was doing a little bit of research on a particular topic on their own online, while a third group was kind of working their way through a PowerPoint presentation or a Google Slides presentation. And then after they kind of went through the 3 stations, we brought the group together, to kind of assess what information, what knowledge they gained from those 3 stations. And like I said, it was fast-paced, it was engaging. They had an opportunity to work by themselves in a small group with their peers, and then kind of with one of us as sort of leaders or guides, I should say. So I thought that was pretty effective.
Right. And one of the styles that I liked was the parallel teaching, where we were able to kind of break the class down sort of maybe in half. Mm-hmm. And, we would be going through either like a section reading or a primary source. And this way, with the smaller groups, the students seem to be more engaged and more willing to open up and be able to participate in class. And so once we would both go through and we would finish, then we would come back in mm-hmm. class together, and then we would, finish, either answer questions and stuff. And this way we could get feedback and participation from both. I think that chemistry is important. I think knowing who your partner is going to be and being open, mm-hmm. communication, mm-hmm. discussing. Sometimes before the lesson or after the lesson, what went well, what didn't go well, what do we need? What do we need to work on?
Yeah, I think communication is big. You have to be willing to. There's give and take. Like teachers like to. I think overall, most teachers like to control things. And it's different when there's 2 teachers in the room, and you have to be able to give a little bit, I think from a logistical standpoint, and this is out of the control of co-teachers, but on the administrative side of things, to facilitate that communication, there's got to be time to collaborate. And we were lucky in that, if I remember correctly, neither of us had a second period.
My prep period was second.
Right.
We didn't have a second period either.
And so what we would often do is after that first period class, okay, how did it go? What went right? What went wrong? How are we going to adjust it tomorrow? That kind of stuff.
Right. And I think you just have to be able to have trust mm-hmm. in your partner, confidence in your partner about what's going on and how they're going to present the material, and then just know that you're going to be able to work together, and this collaboration is just going to improve the student's experience.